broadcast history of Channel 11 as we present an unprecedented, uninterrupted, 22-hour Monty Python Marathon. Be here Saturday night at 7 for the
good news in the world of disease. They have found a protein that stops the reproduction of the AIDS virus. They found it in pregnant woman's urine. I'm not kidding about this. I wouldn't. It's not funny. Pregnant woman's urine. So I don't know how this happened, but they made the discovery during the shooting of Madonna's last video. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Now, this story from Jonesboro, Arkansas, just gets worse and worse all the time. Now they are saying, this came out today just before we went on the air, that the 13-year-old boy who shot the girls, they say he was in his father's house in Michigan last summer, and that he inappropriately touched a girl. And he's in trouble for that. You think he was in trouble for the shooting. Now Ken Starr wants a piece of him. Speaking of that trouble, finally, the former Miss America, Elizabeth Ward Grayson, the actress, has come forward now. She was forced to say what happened with President Clinton. She said she had sex with him after flirting in his limousine when he was governor of Arkansas in 1982. Now, I don't get this. You're governor of Arkansas, and you get to do Miss America in the limo. Then you're the president, and you're humping the fat chick who does the stapling. I mean, Ken Starr, hasn't this man suffered enough? I don't understand. It's important. I think it is important to note, to go on the record, to say that Miss America, former Miss America, said that absolutely that the sex with President Clinton was consensual. But she said she got damn tired of him singing "Here She Comes, Miss America." All right, thanks for coming. It's all been satirized. We are protected. Thank you, folks. Okay, let's meet our panel. She's a columnist for Human Events, an attorney with the Center for Individual Rights, Ann Coulter. And where are you? And a pirate. That's quite a fashion statement. He's a former prosecutor and the author of Helter Skelter. His new one is No Island of Sanity, Paula Jones versus Bill Clinton, the Supreme Court on trial. Vincent Bugliosi. Yeah. Nice to meet you, sir. The charming star of Hercules, the legendary Journey's actor / demigod, Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And finally, his films include Diner, City Slickers, and Home Alone. His next is Tourist Trap on this week's Wonderful World of Disney, Daniel Stern. Hey, Daniel, great to meet you. How you doing? Okay. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures to start the show tonight. We have this one in still store. This is little Andrew Golden, who was implicated in the murder in Jonesboro, Arkansas. There he is at 6 years old with a rifle that he was given from Santa Claus. Isn't that nice? And that's such a good Christmas gift because, you know, when you have that gift, you can get the bicycle, you can get the TV, you can get all the gifts you want, can't you? Now look at that picture. I want you to look at that picture for a second. Now look at another picture. Okay, remember her? Do we see any similarities here, is my first question to the panel. Deputizing young children into adulthood. Lipstick on the girls, guns for the boys. Which is worse?
She's a little creepier than the boy is. I don't see what the big deal is with little kids
having guns at 6 like that? The gun bigger?
No, I mean, it happens all over the place.
How'd you lose your eye?
Took you exactly 10 seconds.
I was a little concerned about that, but I said it looks really cool, so it matches the outfits.
It's kind of odd to be bringing up I mean, how do you make the connection except that they were
look the same. They look like adults who put them in little adult uniforms and giving adult accoutrements that they shouldn't have.
The little kids always play with guns. I don't think he looks like an adult.
Real guns?
Yeah,
that was a real one.
All over Idaho. all over Colorado, all over the South. Everybody has guns.
I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in Minnesota, and all my friends had guns. I mean, there's deer hunting and there's duck hunting. Everybody did it. I didn't do it, but to me, there's. I'm going to get in this whole other battle with the NRA or whatever, but there's something wrong with the way we let people just have guns. I think there's something has to be done, but how can you control it? How can you control it?
Gun control.
We're all in favor of
gun control.
We're all in favor of gun control. The only problem is
we're not all in favor
of gun control.
The NRA is not in favor of gun control, I promise you.
They would be if everyone turned their gun, but the problem is criminals are not going to turn their guns. Only the law-abiding are. So that's a big problem.
Well,
probably even the NRA. If everyone turned in their guns, they may go along with it.
No, because they're trying to. That's a political organization that's basically buying the votes. I don't think it has to do with. It has to do with the. I mean, the NRA gets into campaign finance, financing the votes and buying the votes in Congress more than the morality of it, I think.
But I don't understand. Whenever you people talk about gun control, it's always after some incident where gun control wouldn't have done anything. Like here, the kid broke into his grandfather's house. His grandfather's a game warden. He has these guns on the wall. I mean, it's not like he went to a store and because he didn't have to show ID, was able to purchase a gun at 10 years old.
But his grandfather did.
Yes.
The guns are there. The grandfather had to buy the guns.
Gun control isn't going to stop game wardens from having guns in their homes.
Well, that's...
So, I mean, I think it would be a stupid idea anyway, but it would just have nothing to do with what happened here. He still would have gotten the gun from the game warden.
There were other 2 school shootings in the last year that didn't involve game wardens.
No, and you know what else?
Probably 5
That's
more.
not a trend. You're right.
But none of them involved anything.
He didn't need 12 guns to be a game warden.
I don't understand why this Jonesboro shooting, within 10 seconds, everybody's all over the airwaves with whatever their little pet cause is, saying it's either violence on TV or it's guns. I mean, I feel like I should be saying it's these confiscatory tax rates that led to this shooting. There's evil in the world. You just have to face the fact that there's evil.
Oh, that's so silly.
It's evil. I mean, it ends up on television, so it ends up being a television issue. It ends up being more fodder for. I mean, we put on that little girl in her cowboy outfit.
Because there's violence in
evil,
TV
so we should
shows.
just throw up our hands and not look for the causes of evil?
But people are on TV saying that. What I'm saying is everyone's taking whatever their pet cause is and saying, if you had listened to me...
It's not a pet cause. It's a root problem. There's a difference.
Evil
We're trying to find
problem.
the difference
It's not violence
so
on
it doesn't
TV.
happen again.
Well, maybe we should have a surgical operation on human nature, and that might solve the whole problem.
Right.
I'm just being cute.
I would so much more respect the gun lobby if they would just say, you know what, we love guns. They're cool, and we really don't care about the consequences. We just want them, and it's selfish, but we like them. People do selfish things. We love guns. Instead of saying, you know what, guns don't cause the problem, because they do.
No question. Yes,
They didn't hear.
They didn't hear.
No.
He didn't shoot the other girl.
I don't understand why you can say this is guns any more than government schools. Every one of these schools where there's been a shooting, incidentally, hasn't been a private school. So, if you're looking for some sort of connection, this is the goofiest social science you people engage in, coming up with, one thing that's there.
Guns and death is not that bizarre a connection. They were shot with guns.
Thank you.
What's the...
But guns are used something like, well, if you got the NRA magazine, you'd read monthly of all the citizens using guns to defend themselves. So, yeah, it's used to kill people. It's also used
when they're defending
to ward
themselves,
off
they're also
criminals.
killing people. Those are deaths.
Right, and that's a good use of a gun.
Of killing those people?
Yeah.
But most uses of a gun are not that. Most uses of a gun are
Why is it-
domestic shootings,
Yeah.
38,000
That's
gun
not true.
deaths in America.
No,
They're all in self-defense.
It's literally something
Which are the
like
good
every 3
killings?
minutes somebody is using a gun in self-defense. Most of the times you hear about it only when the person is actually shot, but guns get brandished all the time, and the guy
that's
backs
good.
off. That's
The brandishing is fine.
I
Is that
always
the
think-
point?
Right,
Hey,
no,
shut up, everybody. I got to go to commercial.
If you're planning to be in the Los Angeles area and would like free tickets to Politically Incorrect, call 213-852-2655 or visit our website at abc.com/PI.
All right. Well, the subpoenas went out yesterday in the Paula Jones case. That's always a happy day. And your new book, Counselor, is about that very case. And let me say what, now this, if you don't know, last year, May 27th, Supreme Court ruled that the Paula Jones case did not have to wait until the president was out of office. And Justice Stevens says, it appears to us highly unlikely that this case will occupy any substantial amount of Clinton's time. Well,
yeah.
it's occupied a lot of all of our time. Can't we say that the Supreme Court completely blew it on this one?
Right. And strangely enough, though, it's not boasting, before this book right here, No Island of Sanity, many people said, this is an unfortunate decision, it's going to hurt the office of the presidency, but these very same people, Dershowitz, Spence, National Law Journal, they all went on to say, however, the court had no choice, they were legally correct. This book is pointing out they were legally incorrect. They came down with a ruling. I don't know if they were suffering from an intellectual hernia or what, but they came down with a ruling that's not only devoid of common sense, but here's the surprising thing, violates their own fundamental legal principles. What they didn't do here is something that they have to do unless they want to flip a coin. They didn't balance the public interest against the private interest. If they had done
why does Paula Jones...
Yeah, right. If they had done that, if they had done that, what conceivable argument under the moon can be made for the proposition that Paula Jones' individual interest to go to trial right now, right in the middle of the president's term...
I don't know.